Stories of the Companions, Chapter 12b. Umar's grief at Rasulullah's death. None can deny the well-known bravery, courage, and strength of Umar radiallahu anhu, whose mention, even after the passage of 1400 years, strikes hearts with awe and respect. Islam could not be professed and preached openly before Umar's coming into its fold. As soon as he accepted Islam, al-Muslimin started saying Salah in the Haram, the precincts of Mecca, as none could dare harm them with Umar on their side. Notwithstanding all this, he could not bear the shock of Rasulullah passing away, so much that he stood with sword in his hand, completely confused and bewildered, saying, I shall behead the person who says that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam has passed away. The Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam has only gone to visit his Allah, just as Musa alayhi salam had gone to Tur. He will shortly return and cut off the hands and feet of those who were spreading the false news of his death. One issue with this statement is that we do not find in the sayings of Muhammad that this was ever something done off the battlefield. Well, except the serial killers that they caught. They had to deal with a couple serial killers. Well, I don't know if that's a term. These couple people killed multiple people, and robbed the state, and that's something else. I don't know if we get into that in this book. On the other hand, Uthman radiallahu anhu was stunned with grief on this event. He could not speak a single word even the next day, and walked about as if bereft of speech. Ali radiallahu anhu, too, was in terrible grief. He was still and motionless. Only Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, for all his love of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, as we had seen in the last story, stood firm as a rock against this terrible storm of grief, and did not lose his composure. He calmly entered Rasulullah's house, kissed his forehead, and came back to the people. He asked Umar to sit down and began to address the people. He said, Whoso worshipped Muhammad, let him know that Muhammad is no more, and whoso worshipped Allah should know that Allah is everlasting and eternal. He then recited the following ayah of Al-Quran. وَمَا مُحَمَّدٌ إِلَّا رَسُولٌ قَدْ خَلَتْ مِنْ قَبْلِهِ الرُّسُلُ أَفَإِن مَاتَ أَوْ قُتِلَ انقلبتم على أعقابكم ومن ينقلب على عقبيه فلن يضر الله شيئا وسيجزي الله shakirin. And Muhammad is but a messenger. There have been messengers before him. So if he dies or is killed, would you turn back on your heels? And whoever turns back on his heels can never harm Allah in the least, and Allah shall soon reward the grateful. Surah 3, Ayat 144. Note, as Abu Bakr was destined to be Khalifa after Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it is significant that unlike other Sahaba, he behaved with the composure and patience that were needed on an occasion like this. Again, it was Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu alone who knew better than anybody else about the regulations regarding the burial, inheritance, etc. of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. When differences of opinion arose among the Sahaba, whether the burial place of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, be it Mecca or Medina or Jerusalem, it was Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu who settled the differences by saying, on the authority of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that the Anbiya are buried where they have died. And in general, that's the rule for everybody. We don't go bury people in more auspicious places. Now, we bury them among the Muslim in that area, or we bury them by themselves, but and we take care of waterways and that sort of thing. There were several other ahadith known only to Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu that helped solve many of the other problems arising out of the death of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He said that he heard Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam say, Anbiya have no heirs. All that the Nabi leaves behind is for sadaqah. He said that he had heard Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam say, Allah's curse is on the emir who does not take proper interest and exercise proper care in the appointment of his deputies, and that Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the state affairs shall remain in the custody of the Quraysh. Not because they were Quraysh, but